Hi folks, this is part 2 of the What You Ate in the 1970s video. So this time I want to talk about recipes. And I have my first recipe, my first cookbook. I bought it from a church fundraiser in 1981. I still use it today. But there are some really interesting recipes in this book that might be a little bit dated, but lots of fun to check out. So there's a few highlights that I wanted to talk about. One of them was a pineapple upside down cake. You remember you'd put the red cherry in the rings, and that was a pretty big deal dessert. One of the things we had growing up was Miracle Whip cake. It was a chocolate cake, and it was quite good because I guess the Miracle Whip made everything moist, and then that kind of tangy buttermilk idea, I suppose. Anyways, you couldn't taste any Miracle Whip, and it was quite a moist, lovely chocolate cake. The other one we had a lot of was tomato soup cake. So Campbell's knew how to put lots of soup in the recipes as we go along. I talk about it more. Now, this cake didn't taste like tomato soup. It tastes like spice cake, and I guess the tomato added the tang and the acidity and the background flavor that never came through as tomatoes. It was quite good. A lot of people have talked to me about this one. Jellied salads. Apparently jellied salads was a big deal, but it'd be like lime jello with cucumbers and chopped green onions in it. So I just I've never eaten it, and it was never something I wanted to make, although the recipes are in my cookbook. But no. The other one that people talk about to me was tomato aspic, and that would be like a tomato juice based jelly mold. So you'd get the tomato juice and the gelatin, and you'd make the jello thing, and then there'd be celery and chopped onions in that, which sounds a lot more palatable actually. But I haven't had like a real screaming in favor for recreating it again anytime soon. So I guess it wasn't that popular. Okay, because 1970s ushered in this more casual approach to eating, there was a lot more simple foods, like casseroles were a big deal. And a lot of the basis for the food was either cream of mushroom soup or cream of celery soup, which made life easier. And once again, Campbell's doing a great job at marketing because we used a lot of it, I think. I remember liver being on the menu. I never really got into liver, but I think it was considered like a fairly high quality meat because it would give you iron. But yeah, I don't see liver very often, and I don't cook it myself. Head cheese. I've got a recipe in this cookbook for head cheese. The first ingredient is 1 pig's head. So I've never made that one either. Things like ingredients that you would find in baked goods and other products would be lard, shortening, and margarine. Margarine was considered better than butter because it was considered more healthy for you. I don't know if they actually had proof of that, but butter has one ingredient and margarine has multiple ingredients. So eventually some people are more butter eaters than margarine eaters. Each to your own. We drank Tang orange juice, that powdered stuff, because that's what the astronauts took to the moon. We ate tapioca puddings and rice puddings as desserts. That is something that I don't really see anymore. And for real adventure, curries and sweet and sour meals were coming on board as real gourmet, and that would have been our immigrant influence and people figuring out how to cook that food at home. So I actually did cook those foods. I really liked them. So in between making your macrame plant pot holder and listening to Joni Mitchell, you too could be cooking up a gorgeous 1970s meal. So if you've got any great food stories, please let me know. What were your favorites and what didn't you like? It doesn't have to be from the 70s. It'd be fun to hear from you. Hope you enjoyed.